So sorry about this interrupt again. Let us continue for now what we started. So inside the container, we have, as you know, we have other. If we can just go, for example, we have inside the container we have a height that we specified, for example, at the top. So if you look at the height, it was what was the variable name? It was row height 100. So we can just use. Let us come to the container and check. As we usually do, we check the variables or the properties that we can use. Do we have height? We have a height. So let's use that height. We'll call this is the height. We should call it, and we should use the variable that we declared at the top, row height, private one. So let us just write inside the container. We have first single height. Okay, I got it here, and I will just write the underscore for the private means row height, the variable name. Okay, so I'm using now 100 for now. Then inside this, let's say this widget container, as you know, it's only having, if you want to put another child, for example, equal, we have to go and use the child. We have the child, this one. If you want to put a child properties, we have to write child, then put that child, as we did like every time, child. Then this child will be what, as we said, it will be equal what? Equal widget. The equal widget why we need it for animation. And we mentioned that this equal doesn't work without putting inside the material as an ancestor. Then this equal, it has, if we look at this one, it has border radius. So if we look at here border radius, do we have something called border radius or not? Or we have it. So when you click on it, the border radius will be shown on the animation. Okay. So if we can look at here now, when you click on the cake, it will be there is a radius, and this radius is what? Is a circular radius of this. Let us say animation. So in this case, we can use the border radius. Okay, border radius. How we can write this one? We can just look at it. It should be this one, border radius. Type should be the border radius. We already have this variable. Just we can use it. We already declared its value here. This one, border radius. So we first call it border. Okay, I got an auto completion, which is something also really cool. Then I will give a value now for it. The value, it is the variable that we created at the top. It was border. Again, it's border radius. I can see it as the first one. I'll just click on enter to get it. Auto completion will give it to you. Now, after we finishing in border radius, what we got inside the border radius? We got some padding, if you remember. So inside the border radius, also of course, just we have to specify, of course, the colors, like as you see, when you click on it, it has some color, like the green color. So we have the hide color and splash color, which will be disappeared. So we have to give them the color that we have for the constructor. Where is the color that we have? This is the color that we created. This variable, we can use it here. So we can use two things. As we said earlier, we have the highlight color, which was how we can know that we have highlight color. We can just put by mouse, and it was part of the requirement. We have higher, as you can see, we have the highlight color, hover color, focus color. But on the requirement, we were asking like for two things: to put the highlight color and to put the splash color. So only two of them we need them according to the requirement and to the results that we have seen. So we say the color itself that we have variable. Then splash color, how we can know that we have splash color. Also again, I'll just go to the documentation, put the mouse cursor here, and I can see that we have splash color. How I can use the splash color to give it a color? This is the property name, splash color. I got it, and also I will give it the color. Then we said this equal, when you press on it, it will show the splash. We said this one doesn't work on the requirement unless if you use what? Unless if you use the on tap function. On tap, we have it. Again, also we can check it from here. If you want to get the name exactly, you can just go and check where is the on tap. on the documentation. So on top, this one, it's void function, total nothing. So this one, the function we have on double tap, on longer place, what will to happen. But our focus on this one, on the requirement was on tap. On tap, you can just give it, for example, here you write a function just to return, for example, this simple thing. Let us say, as on the mentioned on the book, it was saying here, let me show it to you. It says you have to use this code. So I can copy this code either, or I can just write it. Print, I was pressed, okay. I'll just copy it. And of course, you have to use a semicolon here because you have a statement, full statement. Inside the on tap, there's opening curly brace and closing brace for the function. So this code inside a function written, which that's why you have to write a semicolon. So now we finish. Now we have this splash color, we have the highlight color. After that, we have after inkwell, we can now work on the other part that we have, for example, the padding. Padding to put inside the padding, for example, a row, and inside the row we have the other children. So let's now put a padding, child. Until now we didn't use a child for inside the inkwell. So child, we can make it padding. And as I mentioned in the padding, if you are willing to use the padding, you have to use this one. If you put the mouse cursor again for the documentation part, you can see padding only. You can use edge insert geometry, or you can give it also child. We'll use this one. For edge insert, we have to use the padding, and we can use also key. But for now, only we need the padding and child. So padding, I will give it the padding, for example, value as the same on the, we have to use the edge insert dot all from all directions, I mean. Okay, this attribute, and it will give you double value. So how much it was the padding if we look at there? The edge padding should be for category widget should be 8. So that's why we have to make it 8. 8.0 as mentioned on this one, because it should be double. Then inside padding we have, if you go to the, diagram that I said we will follow, we have a child for what? Child, and the child was a row, because now we reach to a level where you have to put 2 elements that you have. The padding icon, and we have a container for the text, or center for the text, let us say. So now we have, if we have 2 children, we have to use this one. So this one, if we want to, for example, also for the row itself, if we want to control the axis for this one, we have this attribute. Let me show it to you. Now we have row container. If we put a mouse cursor, there is something wrong. I think here I have to put comma, sorry. What this? It is properties. So we have this one. We have the cross axis element, this one to control axis alignment, sorry. So we can use this one, the cross axis alignment. So let's use it. Cross axis alignment, and then you have to use this same, again, widget, cross axis alignment, dot, we need the stretch. To stretch it, to take the full width of the screen, dot stretch. Okay. Then after that, now we took the full width, let us say, which is the row to contain 2 children. Then we have now to go and create, if we look at the row, the good thing for it, as I said, we can use children. This children, you can use inside this children a list of, as you can see, a list of what? List of widgets. So which is very important thing if we want to put 2 or 3 widgets. So we have to only children. Let us just write. So how we can do this one? We have to write what? We have to write children. Then equal to the list children. So it has opening 2, square brackets for the list items. So let's create first item. First item it was the padding, as you remember. Inside the padding we have what? Icon padding. Then inside the padding, we'll open it. We will put our child. Also, we'll give it the padding for this one. It was, let us just check the number. For the icon, it should be 16, the padding. So padding, again, same way that we did it. Padding, then edge inset, dot all. Edge inset, dot all from all direction. Should be 16.0. Then after that, we can put our child, one child inside the padding, which was the icon, as you remember. The icon, if you want to use the icon, you have also an icon widget. Icon widget. This icon widget, if we look at its properties, what we can use it? We can key use, double size, color, semantical label, text direction. But given the properties, only we have an icon itself, and we have a size only on this properties. The size of the icon, which was 60, I guess, yes. So first parameter for the icon should be what? Should be the icon data or the icon that you have. What is the icon name that you have here? Icon location, it's called. First parameter. To give an icon. So you can just write the icon location. Parameter account for the icon. Because it was asking you to write the icon that you have. The second thing we need only, we need the size, which was 60 size. And this size was, as you have seen, 60.0. Then, after that, now we finish the size. We can go and, for example, here after padding, we close the padding, this child. We can put, for example, another comma to put the other child. So the other child now, what do we have? After padding, we got, as you remember, center. Center for the text center. Then this center has only one child, and it was text, as we created text before. So this text, if we go to the text itself, we have if we look at text, it will first one, it will take string for the data, or data. We can just give it means here data, it means you will give the text that you have, string. So string that we have is what? Name, it's called. So just we give it a name variable to give the string that we'll use a constructor to get it. Then we have other thing that we need. The text should be on the center. That's why we use text alignment. Text align. So we have text align, and we will use text align widget. Align dot center. I think we have it. Dot center. So it will give it center for alignment. Then also we have, for example, theme. We can just make it, for example, any size. Let us say we have style, and the requirement was giving you there, for example, padding text size 24. So let's just make text size 24. Style, and I will use the text style widget. Because text style has what? Has size, font size. Where is the font size? You just say it. You have to write font size. Font size. So now if we look at the font size, if we just put the mouse cursor, it's accepting double value. And the value, however, it was what? It was 24. So we can write, for example, 24.1. And we put a comma. So this is the size also has been added. Then after the text size, now almost everything is done. Now we reach to the last level, which is the text. If we go back and check our what we said, we have built now all the things, starting from material, container, then inkwell. Inside the inkwell, we put the padding for the row. And we decided the padding also, we put another two children, one padding, inside padding icon, another child is the center. Inside it, we have text. So we put all the requirements, we finish them. Now we have to go on the main.dat to do the other requirements. For example, where is the main? Okay, you have to fill the to-dos in the to-dos comment in the main. So we can go now to the main class because we finished now. As you can see, there is no any error, there is no red lines, which is very good. Now we have this one. Now we have what? We have the main dot. Category now we got an error here, which is very good. It says 3 positional arguments expected, but now 0 found. Why it's asking for 3? Because here you you have how many child you have for the constructor. If we go to the constructor, where is the constructor? Where is the constructor? It's here. This line constructor, it's constant, line 18. It has a 3 child, a name, color, icon, expectation. You have to send all of them in the same sequence. You have to send these arguments. Here there are parameters. On the other one, you are using them as what we have: name, color, icon, location. So here we created 3 variables for the name, the icon, and color, location. We can use these variables to send them as arguments to the our constructor. So what is the constructor? Here we are calling constructor. The can should be what? Category name. Same sequence on the category file. Category name, first one, comma. DOM is what? Second one was here, should be color, and last one, location. What is the color here? Variable. This one, category icon, category color. Category icon, category. I have to put the, so they are also private, category color. Just check if it's correct. Sorry, color should be before the location. Okay, color, then location. Because we did this one, we don't have other variables. So now category name, color, and icon. And when we did it by mistake, it was also telling you an error that you cannot put the, for example, color cannot get icon value because it is depending on this one. How we are using now category, this one, category constructor by writing this line. Importing the category dot to be used inside this one, this file. If you put double slash here, next as comment, you will get error here. It says, for example, this method or category isn't defined for the type of unit converter application. That's why we have to import that file to be used here. Then after we did this one, after we use the constructor, for example, what is left now on this side? What do you think on the according to the requirement? We have the scaffold, we have the center, we have the child, and we have these are parameters. I think that's it for today, for this week. But I'll just run it again to make sure everything is fine. So now we should get what is expected here on this one because we did all the requirements step by step. For next week, we are going, okay, now the click is there. Good. You can press it and we will get the reflection is there, animation is there. It's very good. Okay, so now it works without any issue. What's left, for example, for next week, let us see what we are going to focus on next week. Application bar and the list view, how to go and work on the list itself, making the list. Then we have to add the application bar. Already have experience with this one. We did it last week. We created the application bar with the scaffold, so we can work on it this time also. But now the thing is like we have to work on more, details because we have many screens this time rather than one screen. So if we look at here, this is the application bar. This is just example how to do alignments, how to work on for different widgets, text widgets. Then we'll go and see how inside scaffold we have application bar body already, which you know about this one. But the new thing, we have to create another file, route. This route will help us to manage the moving from one screen to the other because we have many screens. So route will be used for this purpose. Later we have to work on the responsive design, for example, use the grid view for the landscape mode. And this is what we are going to use, for example, for next week. creating the home screen of the application, and creating the list view for the categories. Two things we have to work on them, and to finish implementation of the category route. So this one we will work on this week on this part. Then we will go to the build the custom layout for the other if we have inside the screen, each screen. Okay, thank you very much for your time. Hopefully you get benefit out of this lesson. If you have any questions, please you can feel free to ask me or visit me or discuss after we finish our lecture on the lab. Okay, goodbye.